to believe it's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more.
Hello there, welcome to the Flashing Bloke podcast. I'm Siobhan, yes, and that over there yonder is a panda, and share poetry or something. Hello, who are you?
I'm Dr. Sinister.
Are you sure?
Always.
Oh, that's all right. I prefer right guard personally, but there we go. So today, literary things.
101. Literary 101.
What, a TIE fighter?
Eh?
101. It's a TIE.
Oh, I never noticed that before.
You benefit in being in my company. You're improving, Sinister. It's all down to my influence, of course. You can't take any credit. Look what I got.
Engines of War.
Yeah. It's a Doctor Who book.
Very nice.
See who's on the cover?
That's Mr. Hurt.
Yes, it is. Ah, dear. What?
What's it like?
Squarish? Rectangular?
Cuboid.
Yeah. On the back it's got the TARDIS in fire with the phrase "no more" underneath it.
Excellent. So
Why?
So this
Right.
is leading up to
The Time War. Well, no, not the Time War, the Day of the Doctor.
Okay.
In fact, I will go so far as to read you the last couple of paragraphs.
So
Don't worry,
it's old War Doctor, not young War
Old
Doctor.
War Doctor. A blackbird was picking at the freshly turned earth in search of worms, and he watched it flutter away into the darkening sky, finally admitting defeat. Then, alone at last, he quietly uttered his promise. Just two simple words, but leaden with the weight of his resolve. No more. Yes. Okay, so basically, the ninth Doctor Who.
Well, the ninth body for the person previously known as the Doctor.
Throughout this, he's known as the Doctor.
Does he call himself the Doctor?
He tries to get away with it by not, sort of saying, "Look, no, I'm not. I used to be called the." But you see, that's part of the problem with this. But we'll come to that in a moment. The ninth Doctor Who is basically fighting the Time War, and he's leading a squad of battle TARDISes into battle over the sky of Moldox. Is it Moldox? It's Moldox, where there's this huge spatial temporal rift thingamybobby. Or as I like to call it, a MacGuffin. And unfortunately, the war TARDISes get kicked out of them by the Daleks. It's when the Daleks are able to destroy TARDISes.
War TARDISes at that.
Indeedy.
Are they bristling with guns?
Very probably. You probably look at them and go, whoa. You see, the thing is, this is the second time we've recorded this show. And when I first cracked that joke, it really was funny. Yeah.
Still, life's shit, isn't it?
The previous show we recorded as well. I was in the garden.
Yeah. That was our summer special.
Yeah.
There was some
time special, seaside special.
There was some cock up at my end.
Slight cock up with the recording situation.
It didn't record.
No. Well, it did.
Well, I've got a 144 megabyte file of blank nothing and a 361 megabyte file of blank nothing.
There's never nothing.
It's never.
There's something in there.
The sea may be dark and quiet, but it is never empty.
Anyway,
that was George
on Moldox and meets up with a resistance fighter called Cinder, who's companion of the week. There they go and track down. The Doctor notices the particular Dalek, which has the same skirt, the same neck and dome, technically the same shoulders.
Right.
However, instead of the arm and the gun, you've got a whopping great cannon.
Oh.
I apologise for the crudity of this model. It's not to scale.
What's this cannon capable of?
It's a dematerialization gun.
Ah, now, hang on. I'm feeling like I'm in a time loop here because we've discussed this before, haven't we?
You have.
It's a bit like Rassilon's gun in Invasion of Time.
Yes, it doesn't just kill you, it removes you from the time stream as if you've never been born.
That's the way to do it.
Yep. The Doctor realises this and realises that this is a problem, so he goes to look into it and discovers there's more to this than meets the eye. There's a reason the Daleks are around this rift, and turns out they might be planning to do it on a slightly larger scale than on individual Dalek units.
So they've basically thrown caution to the winds. They don't give a monkey's what happens to the time stream. They're just out to destroy anything they can.
Bit like the Time Lords, really.
They have tried this before, the Daleks, with the Time Destructor.
Yeah, but in fairness, I mean, if you've got to just nip out of the room for some reason without realising it, so someone else nip it and nick the bloody thing, you get what you deserve.
Well, they didn't really know what they were doing back then, but now they definitely know what they're doing, and they just don't care.
They've gone nuts, basically. Rassilon's around.
Is it the Rassilon?
What, the one that spits?
Yeah, does he have a glove?
The Cosmic Claw.
Yeah.
Mr. Chin will recognise that reference. Yes, it's that one, and he doesn't like the Doctor very much. So much so there's a chance, just a chance maybe, that he decides to get rid of the Doctor.
Oh, okay.
Wheels within wheels.
Is there any masteriness?
No, there's no master, though he does get mentioned.
Okay.
And
any medley monkeyness?
I was saying.
Oh, okay.
Ook, 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 ook. You did say monkeyness, didn't you? And let's just say that, as normal with the Daleks, it's not quite as straightforward as it seems. They may have other motives.
Okay.
Now, plot-wise, this is damn good. Where it falls down is characterisation, especially of the Doctor, who, I mean, I feel sorry for George Mann. He's in basically the same situation as the early Eighth Doctor authors were.
Very little to go on.
Practically bugger all to go on. He's done his best. He's tried to make the Doctor a bit grumpy, and as best as possible a man of action. But there just isn't enough of a character study in here, unfortunately.
You see, I would have written the War Doctor as doing some very undoctor-like things. I would have written the character as being almost a polar opposite of the Doctor that we know.
I mean, he goes around destroying Daleks, but then the Doctor does.
Yeah. He's never had a problem doing that.
Nope. So he doesn't push it that far.
Right.
But,
which, by that point in the War Doctor's timeline, he should be completely...
Yeah. However, it's a good book. It's a fun book. It's got a good plot to it, a plot that makes sense, which is nice. And there's lots of little riffs and touches that, will appeal to you.
Cool.
How much does it cost? Back of the phone, hang on a minute. £12.99 from all good bookshops, or the Who shop. Oh, that was a bit slaggy off it. Right, so anyway, get it. Next,
I will.
Dr. Sinister.
Yes.
With a book for you children out there.
Are we sitting comfortably?
No, hang on. Oh, Lord.
Then I'll begin.
Yes. How to speak Klingon, what again?
Yeah, but it's not the original Klingon dictionary.
Okay.
It's a board book.
Why, is it not doing much?
No, it's for children. It's got about 10 pages in it. And look, it's got sounds.
First of all, how can you say look, it's got sounds?
I'm pressing buttons.
Should you not say listen, it's got sounds?
That's what I said, I think you'll find.
And secondly, what was that it just said?
Well, let's have a look, shall we?
Yes.
So, we have a section on Klingon. That's right, George. It's just... he's just his timing.
Klingons, what can I say?
Section on Klingon pronunciation. You've gone all Wookiee again.
No, that shadow going past. Hopefully she hasn't farted. Yep.
And we have lots of hints about social occasions with Klingons.
Please help us. Yes, go on then.
At a restaurant.
Oh, good. It's useful.
The phrase here, by pressing number 1,
Yes.
is, "No thanks, I'm allergic to gach."
Oh, the poor little thing. What about prune juice?
There are some other helpful tips. Negem tag jajaba, which is your targ free range.
Right.
And Chlumo jabul I hoch nesoch, which apparently is, "Please don't kill the waiter on my account."
Are you pretending to be General Martok?
No.
Oh, sorry, you just got the look about you at the moment.
No, I'm vaguely competent.
Oh, Martok was competent. It was Garon that was the problem.
At the movies.
Right.
Here we go.
What?
Which translates as 2 tickets for Romulan and Juliet.
Oh, God.
Klingon theatres are notorious for painful volume levels and floors sticky with spilled buckets of racht. Note also that stuntmen and special effects are unknown in Klingon cinema. Everything you see on the screen is horribly, horribly real. Plan your movie going accordingly. Be warned, however, that even films intended for Klingon children can be upsetting to viewers belonging to other species.
Talking of films, I think we need to find out what Mr. Chris from the Faust Project's up to.
Oh, that's a good point. What a timely intervention. Let's have a look.
Oh,
Bloody hell.
Well, if you will go trespassing on Monster Island.
There you go. At a sporting event.
Hooray!
Number 3.
Position.
This is one of the most vilest insults you can say to a Klingon. "Hey, ref, your mother has a smooth forehead."
Oh, that's that. No.
Also helpful. Yay! Can you guess what that translates as?
Well, you told me in the last recording, so do I guess or do I just say?
Pretend you don't know.
Oh, no, I've no idea.
Goal!
All right.
At a birthday party.
Are we going through every single one of these?
In the office.
Hey!
At a karaoke night.
Of course.
On public transport.
Yes, well, you never know when that might be useful.
At a wedding.
Oh, that bride looks particularly violent.
On the golf course.
What? Why is he there with the Beatles?
Do you know, I don't know. In a space station.
That's understandable, yes.
That's it, really.
That's brilliant. It's bonkers. It's barking mad. How much is it?
£12.50.
Is it worth it?
No.
Why did you buy it?
Bookshop.
No, why?
Why?
It was just bookshop.
I was in a bookshop, that's also why. It was there.
That's barking mad. I love it. That's just... Again, now Trek's not around, they're developing a proper sense of humour.
Yeah, they were a bit po-faced before.
Occasionally they try it, like with the rules of acquisition. But, yeah, that's fun. I like that. So there we go. 2 books. Down to you which one or both or none you get. We're going to say goodbye?
Bye!
Oh, and watch out, because watch out on the previous show for our photos from Comic Con that we finally will have put up on the previous show.
Will have done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doodles.
Bye.
Toodles.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
Paying a visit to the famous floating rocks of Crebulon 6, the 83rd Doctor and Millicent found themselves in a spot of bother after the TARDIS materialised on one of the smaller rocks and an absent-minded K9 sent them tumbling over the edge. In a slightly existential twist, necessitated by budgetary constraints, our heroes were forced to spend the next 45 minutes contemplating the meaning of existence before being rescued by the robotic friend whom, it was revealed, in a highly unlikely development, had rockets built into the side of his body all the time that allowed him to fly. Still, if it was good enough for R2-D2, then it was good enough for K9, albeit 336 years later. It is not without a certain amount of irony that this episode, aired in 2338, was entitled Hanging On, since by the middle of series 342, of which it was a part, the programme was in dire straits, having suffered the lowest ratings in the programme's history, and it was very close to cancellation. Therefore, in a desperate attempt to boost the audience appreciation scores and to recreate the past glories of earlier, cannier producers in 2006, 2145, 2157 and 2288 respectively, the robot dog character of K9 was reintroduced to the series. However, true to form on the part of current producer Cambridge Smythe, this revamped incarnation of the Doctor's companion was played strictly for laughs and was portrayed as a bumbling, forgetful, accident-prone character that kept breaking down and bumping into things. This did not sit well with the half-dozen or so people still watching Doctor Who, but since this audience consisted for the main part of a group of quadriplegics of a particular hospital wing that suffered a faulty television that couldn't be switched over to another channel, there was little they could do about it other than to tuck loudly and flicker their eyelids a lot. The addition of comedy bells and whistles whenever K9 moved on screen was an additional miscalculation, as was the high-pitched camp voice dubbed in post-production. To make matters worse, K9's complete inability to move in a straight line was not always the result of the scripts, and much like the original K9 prop used between 1977 and 1981, the creation proved extremely difficult to control on set. Despite the 361 years of advances in technology, the machine spent more time being repaired than actually being used for filming. One particularly nasty incident occurred on location for this very story, with K9 hurrying to the rescue of the TARDIS crew. The polarity of the machine's remote control receiver was reversed, causing an erroneous signal to be sent back to the control unit, which promptly recalibrated itself to a default factory setting. Unfortunately, this setting matched one being used at a nearby nuclear reactor for the control of a robotic arm to manipulate control rods, and within minutes the reactor went critical and suffered a minor but catastrophic explosion, releasing tons of radioactive material into the atmosphere and irradiating half the country. The incident was hurriedly covered up by the BBC, as they could not afford yet another scandal, having only recently been bailed out by the British government for enormous debts, partly incurred by senior management in their massively expensive and excessive coverage of yet another football World Cup fiasco. And in any event, since most of Britain in 2338 was full of retarded, celebrity-obsessed dullards, the radiation appeared to cause no real additional side effects.